Welcome to the Morning Download Podcast, your go-to resource for personal finance, economics, and market insights. In just 8 minutes a day, we provide valuable information to help you make better money decisions. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter at https://www.morningdownload.com/subscribe. Let's dive right in. In today's episode, we'll cover the potential government shutdown, falling stocks, market experts' warnings of a potential crash, a couple keeping $10.5 million accidentally sent to them, the increasing number of adults living with parents, and Warren Buffett's views on the stock market.
Here's a fun fact to kick things off. Did you know that the shortest government shutdown in history lasted a mere 9 hours? Yeah, that happened back in 2018, but hold on, that's not all. That same year, we actually had 3 different shutdowns at various points. Talk about a roller coaster ride. Now, let's talk about the government shutdown that's looming over us. It's a situation where non-essential government services come to a halt due to a lack of approved funding. This can have an impact on various sectors, causing uncertainties in the economy and financial markets. It's crucial for investors like you to stay informed and keep an eye on how it could potentially affect your portfolios. In addition to the government shutdown, we're also witnessing some turbulence in the stock market. Prices are falling, and this can be a cause of concern for many investors. The reasons behind these fluctuations can vary, ranging from global economic uncertainties to geopolitical tensions. Remember, while it may seem worrisome, it's always important to keep a cool head and approach these situations with a level-headed strategy. So grab your morning coffee and get ready for an eventful week in personal finance, economics, and markets. Stay tuned for updates and analysis to help you navigate through these challenging times. Happy investing, folks! The U.S. federal government is heading toward a shutdown. Can you believe it? It seems like it's on the horizon. Basically, what happens during a government shutdown is that U.S. federal agencies can't spend any money without approval from Congress. And when they don't get that approval, bam, shutdown time. Now, this isn't the first time the U.S. government has faced a shutdown. It's actually happened a few times in the past. Remember the 21-day shutdown back in 1995, 1996 during the Bill Clinton administration, and the 16-day shutdown in 2013 during the Barack Obama administration? Yeah, those were tough times. So what's happening now? Well, the White House recently directed federal agencies to prepare for a shutdown. Government funding expires at the beginning of the fiscal year, which is October 1st. And here's the thing. We don't know how long this shutdown will last. It's all up in the air. The problem right now is that Congress is divided. We have a Democratic-controlled Senate and a Republican-led House. It's a bit of a mess. Conservatives in Congress seem to want to use the shutdown to gain some political leverage, but they also want to reduce spending. So that's where things stand. Now, who's impacted by all this? Well, the essential employees like law enforcement officers and air traffic controllers are exempt. But most workers will be asked to not come back to work until this problem gets solved. And that can take weeks. Can you imagine not getting paid for that long? It's pretty rough. And it's not just the workers who are affected. Businesses linked to federal agencies like tourist service providers could also suffer. It's a domino effect, really. Now, is this bad? You bet it is. It impacts workers, the market, and more. In fact, Goldman Sachs expects economic growth to fall by 0.2% every week until this whole mess gets resolved. Ouch. But here's a surprising twist. The stock market might not be as affected as you'd expect. During the last government closure, the S&P 500 stock index actually climbed over 10%. Who saw that coming? Speaking of the market, the Asian market seems a bit mixed right now. And guess what? Credit card losses are going up. Apparently, more people are falling behind on their payments. Yikes. And here's a question for you. Is Russia pushing oil prices higher? They say there might be some connection there. Interesting, right? Well, that's the latest on the U.S. government shutdown situation. Keep an eye on the news to see how it all unfolds. Stay tuned, folks. Let's talk stocks for a moment. So, it seems like stock futures are on the rise again after a rough week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average futures have gained around 50 points, and both the NASDAQ 100 futures and S&P 500 futures have inched up by 0.2%. Now, September hasn't been the best month for the market. The S&P 500 has fallen by 4.2% so far, and the NASDAQ composite is down by 5.9%. In particular, the tech sector hasn't been performing well, so everyone has their eyes set on some upcoming economic events like home sales data, consumer confidence data, and initial job claims data. And of course, we're also eagerly awaiting Fed Chairman Powell's speech on September 28th. But there's some buzz going around. Some experts are sounding the alarm about a possible market crash. They're even predicting a 48% further downside, which definitely sounds extreme. However, it's always good to be prepared for any surprises that might come our way. So, let's talk about what's been going on in the crypto industry. It seems there's been quite a mix-up. A couple recently received a huge surprise when they were mistakenly sent a whopping $10.5 million by crypto.com. What did they do? Well, they decided to hang on to it, but now they're facing some legal consequences. It turns out they're scheduled for a plea hearing in October, where they'll have to make their case. Switching gears a bit, let's talk about Coinbase. This popular cryptocurrency exchange platform has managed to hold on to over 5% of all BTC ever made. That's no small feat, considering the widespread popularity of Bitcoin. With so many people buying and selling Bitcoin on Coinbase, it's no wonder they've amassed such a significant amount. All in all, the crypto industry is never short on surprises. Whether it's a mishap like the one with Crypto.com or the impressive achievement of Coinbase, there's always something to keep us on our toes. That's the beauty of the crypto world. It's exciting, constantly evolving, and full of unexpected twists and turns. Now let's talk about a controversial topic that needs some attention: how to make your grown children financially secure. With increasing costs, more and more adults are choosing to live with their parents. However, in the US, young adults are less likely to live in their parents' home compared to most of Europe. Only 33% of adults aged 18 to 34 in the US live with their parents, while over 70% of adults in countries like Serbia, Portugal, Croatia, Greece, and Italy do. Living with parents can have negative impacts on both parents and children. It can burden parents financially, affecting their retirement plans. Moreover, it can hinder children's chances of becoming homeowners and prevent them from establishing their independence. While it's natural for parents to want to support their children, constantly providing financial assistance can put a strain on your own financial situation as retirement approaches. Many aging adults express a desire to change this habit of giving money to grown children, but struggle to do so. So, how can you stop this cycle? Start by being honest with your adult children. Let them know that you can no longer provide financial support and help them find other options, such as finding a better job. It's important to secure your own future while also helping your child build their own life. If you don't want to immediately cut financial support, gradually reduce the amount you give and teach your child the importance of money management and budgeting. Remember, it's okay to continue giving occasional cash gifts or opening an account for your children's education. Just make sure that you're there for them without enabling a dependent lifestyle. Let's get some wisdom from none other than Warren Buffett. He once said, "Remember that the stock market is a manic depressive." Isn't that an interesting way to describe it? Now, what does he mean by that? Well, we all know that the stock market can be quite unpredictable, right? It goes up and down, sometimes in the blink of an eye. Just like a person with manic depression, the stock market can have extreme highs and lows. One moment it's soaring, making investors feel on top of the world, and the next moment it's crashing, causing panic and fear. But what can we take away from this quote? The key here is to remember that investing in the stock market requires a steady mindset. It's important not to get carried away with excitement when the market is doing well, and not to lose hope when it's going through a rough patch. Successful investors understand that market fluctuations are part of the game, and they stay calm in the face of volatility. So let's keep Warren Buffett's words in mind and approach the stock market with a level-headed attitude. After all, the market can be a roller coaster ride, but with the right mindset, we can navigate it successfully.
In this episode, we discussed the potential government shutdown and falling stocks, the impact on workers and the economy, the underperformance of the tech sector in September, a couple mistakenly keeping $10.5 million, the growing number of adults living with parents, and Warren Buffett's perspective on the stock market. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Download, your go-to podcast for personal finance, economics, and market insights in just 8 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content and sign up for our free newsletter at morningdownload.com/subscribe.